what happens in market terms? So inflation, bond yields go up, and the Fed cap them. They've already said they do yield curve control. The Australians did it. Europeans have basically done it. The Japanese have done it. So then bond yields don't go up. So does that destroy the economy? No. What happens to the stock market? If the stock market falls, they stimulate again. It's kind of this weird world where nothing can go wrong. What does go wrong is the value of your dollar, without you knowing it, is going down.
Right.
And an asset so the value of houses has just gone up 25%, like in a straight line. Same with, other fixed assets, equities. And that means your dollar of savings now buys you less of an asset. And think of assets as future deferred consumption. So you buy an asset now in order to sell it later to buy goods and services in due course. You can now buy less goods and services. So everybody doesn't realize it, but the value of their dollar is going down.
Right. That is the risk. And it's so interesting because it's difficult to tell if the value of other currencies is declining. Look at, for example, dollar yen, since, for the last 10 years, up, up, up. But the actual purchasing power of the US dollar can decline simultaneously. This is a weird world. We've never seen
because people think of it in relative terms versus its currency without thinking of the overall value of fiat. And I figured this out when I did UK house prices against the Bank of England balance sheet. I know people hate those charts, but they bloody work. Swedish house prices against the Riksbank's balance sheet. US house prices against the US central bank. It is there for everybody to see. And it is happening. And this was my flaw with the MMT argument from day one, is yes, you can always finance yourself. But there is a cost somewhere, and that cost is the value of money. And we're seeing it. And that's what 140 million people have figured out in cryptocurrencies right now.
What are your final thoughts on what you are going to be looking for in the next couple of weeks?
So I released Global Macro Investor last Monday. There was an article buried there. It was only about 6 pages long, and it was entitled The Greatest Trade, and it's just Ethereum. I think it's a better setup in Ethereum. Well, it certainly was by Monday, but it still remains, than March 2020 was for Bitcoin. Basically, and without giving away the full article, because I think I'm going to put it on Real Vision Pro, there is 13% of all the free float of Ethereum available. Everything else is being staked, locked, and hoarded. They've just made the supply more difficult. So the supply is lower. The Ethereum that is in free float is falling every day. And now we've just got the 1559 token out of the way. Most people are going to start staking the ETH that they hold. There is no ETH available, and demand is going exponential. Exponential demand meets fixed supply equals exponential price rise. One of the best setups I've ever seen.
Yeah. Talking of the crypto world, news crossing the wire within the last hour here today that Brian Brooks, U.S. CEO of Binance, has just resigned after only 4 months on the job. If there's one thing about crypto we can be sure of, Raoul, it's that there is always news flow to be had.
Yeah, and there's always a scare story somewhere down the track. I was flicking through the FT app today, and Katie Martin's article, I was just dripping with cynicism at every level about Bitcoin. You see that everywhere, or about crypto in general, and there's always something going on. This space came out of the Wild West. It's not the Wild West now, but there's still a cleanup, and the sheriffs are in town, so God knows what's going to happen. And, stuff will get cleaned up, stuff will get regulated. It's all part of the journey. Step back, look at that adoption curve, 113% a year, fastest growing adoption of any technology in human history. That's all that matters.
Raoul, final thoughts that you'd like to leave us with before we end for the day?
No, just buy Ethereum. That's all I can tell you.